Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you're safe and healthy. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Um, Today is Sunday, the 12th day of December 2022. Um, Again, I hope you're safe and healthy. I hope your family is safe and healthy. And I hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, as well as the first responders, who every day are trying their best to save lives. And those that pick up garbage to keep streets and highways and parks and hallways and buildings clean. And those also that make deliveries for our convenience, and double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia, and also blessings upon the family of the 7-year-old child who was murdered 2 days ago by the FedEx driver. May she rest in peace. Blessings upon those that are looking to protect and recover the teenagers and children who are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography and child pornography. The victims as well of prostitution and child prostitution. The victims of human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses on the perpetrators like that fool pervert FedEx driver that did dirt on that 7-year-old girl yesterday. Double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers out here trafficking in human misery. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and mostly children on the streets of the United States of America. Millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. Okay. Greetings to the chat. Wayne Peterson, Ace of Spade, Andre, my man Diamond Holdings, King Ribby, my man 2189, Guilford McCormick, Mets Knicks fan, Aaron Spalding, my man Superstar James E. Moore, Nancy Stevenson, welcome Sister Woody Woodpecker. Welcome to all, King John. Welcome to all of you. Today, there's going to be a game tonight at 6 o'clock. There was a game yesterday, a matinee game, which the Knicks lost after being up 15 to the Dallas Mavericks. Before I get started, I want you to take note of something. This is just give you an object lesson of the NBA. So the Knicks beat Detroit on Tuesday. Detroit beats Dallas on Thursday. The Knicks lose to Dallas on Saturday. That's the NBA. See? So the Knicks beat Detroit on Tuesday. Detroit turns around and beats the Mavericks on Thursday. Same week. And the Knicks lose to the Mavericks on Saturday. That, my friends, is the league. See? That's what I'm saying. This ain't high school. This ain't college. This is the league, and that's the type of thing that happens. Now, let's talk about not just what happened yesterday, but overall. So yesterday, I looked at the game. I looked at the review of the game. First, I looked at the highlights. Then I looked at the game replay itself. And there are some glaring weaknesses defensively. And the Knicks have a couple of issues going on that have been plaguing them this season, and I want to point them out. Number one, there is still not an established fact that Jalen Brunson is the leader of this team. That is a problem. It is between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. It's got to be Jalen Brunson. Problem number one to me. Problem number two, you have multiple players that are inconsistent defensively. You have multiple players that are inconsistent defensively. Yesterday, the Knicks played a great game in the first half. Didn't they? They played a great game in the first half. They ended the first half 59-52. The third quarter fell apart. Okay. And usually in time past, under the Tom Thibodeau regime, you can point to the starters and say, the starters messed up. He should have put Mobb Deep in there. He should have kept Mobb Deep in there. But no, not yesterday. They were all bad. Mobb Deep was bad. And they were off. They've been off. Cam missed the dunk. Cam was having a bad game yesterday. He just was out of sync. And I also, if y'all remember, if any of you looked at my video from Friday, I think I mentioned to y'all that the Knicks are not very good on Saturday matinees. I think I did say that. I did say that. I said the Knicks are not very good on Friday night Knicks, and they're not very good on Saturday matinees. I told you that. They just really are not. I'm not trying to make an excuse, but I was concerned. I said it Friday because, I didn't want y'all to think I was making an excuse. In my 50 years watching the Knicks, they've been always bad on Saturday matinees. I'm not saying they lose every time, but when they, for whatever reason, they come out lethargic. They come out lacking energy. They come out lacking execution. Saturday matinees are just not good for the Knicks. Okay. And it's funny because Martin Luther King is usually a matinee, and they usually do pretty good on Martin Luther King Day. But Saturday matinees, they just don't do that well. So Julius Randle, and I was watching the game, and I kept pausing it and looking at stuff. Julius Randle, Hartenstein, but not, Hartenstein played actually good defense in the first half, but he doesn't consistently give you that. Jalen Brunson. I know some of y'all want to say RJ. I'm not going to say RJ. Jalen Brunson, Hartenstein, Julius Randle, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, when he came to the Knicks in 2018, I think it was, he was about half a step slower than he was in his prime. And he was still at half a step slower, can blow by 90% of the players in the league. He's lost another half a step. He's lost another half a step right now. Okay. He's just lost a half a step, and it hurts him defensively. He still has enough craftiness to get by offensively, but it hurts him defensively. Okay. Thank you, 2189 for the $2. Knicks are cursed on Saturday, or they party hard on Friday. I don't know what it is, but it's been a long time since I've been watching the Knicks. This is not like something recent with this regime. They just really, for some reason, don't play well on Saturday matinees. They just don't. When I saw that on the schedule, I was concerned because even though they had the Knicks under Tom Thibodeau, if you look at the record, they really are good against Dallas. They've been shown to be good against Dallas, but not on Saturday matinees. They just really not good. So I'm not surprised at that, really. I know some of y'all, was really some Twitter was going berserk, but y'all should know me by now. I don't react like that. I don't trip because of one loss, okay? But let's start with, I've seen a lot of calls, a lot of people calling for Tom Thibodeau to be fired. Let me tell you why that's not going to happen, and let me tell you why it should not happen, okay? So 2017, the Knicks won 29 games. 2018, the Knicks won 17 games. 2019, the Knicks won 21 games. Did you hear what I said? 2017, 2018, the Knicks won 29 games. 2018, 2019, the Knicks won 17 games. 2019, 2020, the Knicks won 21 games. That's what we had. So what did Dolan, from the time he actually hired Phil Jackson, he has been, to me, I've seen him trying to give this team to somebody he could just leave it and not interfere. He has admitted publicly he doesn't know basketball. And so after interfering for most of 20 years, he went out and he basically bribed Phil Jackson to come to the Knicks with $60 million. you know what happened there. I just showed you the record. So he fires Phil Jackson with 2 years left on his deal, at least 2 years, maybe even 3. He fired him with 2 years left on his deal, so he still had to pay $30 million to Phil Jackson. That was guaranteed money. Okay, so he's not going to just fire people because you're all mad at the management. No, then he put his boy Steve Mills in there, who's still with the organization. And Steve Mills handled it for a couple of seasons. Again, you saw the record. Didn't go too well. So then what he did is he starts with Leon Rose in 2020, 2021. Okay? Let's talk about a little history so we can get our heads straight here. So he hires Leon Rose. He gives Rose a 5-year contract. It's estimated that Rose is on a 5-year deal somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 million. Not like Phil Jackson, but ain't no chump change either. Rose goes about to create a management team with Walt Perrin. He went and he got Walt Perrin, he got Johnny Bryant, he got a bunch of guys, really competent people as part of his management team. He hires Tom Thibodeau. Now, let me ask you all a question. Here's a very vital question. I want to make sure you all hear me. Matter of fact, let me post this question in the comments, and I'm not going to repeat it until I put it out there. So here's the question. Have you ever had a 5-year plan in your personal life? Have you ever had a 5-year plan in your personal life? Like, have you ever sat down and say, where am I going to be in the next 5 years? Have you ever done that? Like, successful people do that. I don't know if you knew that, but a lot of successful people in business especially, they have 5-year plans. Okay? Before we start speculating, let me give you all some things now, okay? Wait a minute. I'm asking you all a question. Have you ever had a 5-year plan? Have you ever had a 5-year plan? Okay. And why? Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to say, this is where I am now, and I'm going to do this series of moves, and I expect to be at this spot in 5 years. Right? That makes sense, y'all? So, like myself, our 5-year plan, we want to be retired in 5 years. We got a house. We want to continue to build equity. We want to continue to save money. We want to continue to pay down debt over the next 5 years and be ready for retirement in 5 years. Build up our Social Security and probably move from here. That's the 5-year plan. I'm giving you mine in a gist real quick, right? Okay. They do the same thing when you're trying to build long-term sustainable winning franchises in pro sports. Do you understand what I just said? They do the same thing when they're trying to build long-term sustainable winners in pro sports. You don't look at one game, you don't look at one season, you look at a 5-year plan. Now, they signed Tom Thibodeau along with Leon Rose, along with the team. And Leon Rose and Tibbs have 5 years. 5 years. Now, what would you expect after 5 years? You're expecting after 5 years, of course, to be competing for championships. That's what you do in pro sports. The whole object is to win. So you want to compete for chips in 5 years. When Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau came to the Knicks, they inherited R.J. Barrett, the 3rd overall pick. They inherited Mitchell Robinson, a 36th pick. They inherited Julius Randle, who was signed as a free agent by Steve Mills and Scott Perry. This is what they started out with. They hired these guys. They had these guys already, okay? All right. Since they have extended all three guys. Since after they inherited those three guys for whatever, for different reasons, whatever, all three players have been extended by the Knicks. Okay. Then they drafted Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Joku Rokobitis, Miles McBride, Jericho Sims. They've drafted all these guys. They traded Kevin Knox, who they had inherited. They traded him and made him Cam Reddish. Okay. So let me just say this to get this out the way, and I could be wrong, and I'm willing to say I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am here. Leon Rose and his crew and Tom Thibodeau are not going to be fired. Okay, I just want you, okay? They're not going anywhere. Not right. This is a 5-year plan. We're in year 2 1/4 right now of a 5-year plan. 2 1/4. So all the speculation, all the hype about fire tips and the emotional, or should I say overreaction, that's not going to happen. Okay? Not going to happen. Unless Tibbs or Leon decides to step down on their own. But they're not going to be fired. Okay. So where we're at right now, what a competent long-term sustainable management would do is they're going to meet and evaluate what they have done. Okay? They're going to meet and evaluate what they have done. So everything I just told you, they're going to evaluate that, plus other moves. You know, they signed Jalen Brunson. Before that, they had Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, Reggie Bullock, Alec Burks, Alfred Payton. They had these people that they signed, Nerlens Noel. So they're going to evaluate everything that they've done. They're going to evaluate where they are right now. Right? The Knicks have what? The Knicks have, over the next 4 seasons, can we say safely at least 7 first-round picks over the next 4 seasons? And at least 4 second-round picks, probably more. So they have a lot of draft capital. So now, when you're looking at that and you're saying, okay, you're in year 2 1/4 of a 5-year plan. See, James Dolan don't want to be paying out $40 million to Leon Rose and whatever they're going to pay Tom Thibodeau. I don't know if it's $25 million, again, without getting any performance. See, what a lot of people are advocating for in the firing of Tibbs or Leon Rose is no different than the last 20 years. No different. And if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get this. You're not going to, and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. If you keep looking for a savior to save the Knicks, this has been going on a long time, though. A long time. A long time. So if you want a chance, if you want an opportunity to go for a 5-year a long-term sustainable winning program, you have to have solid, stable management and coaching staff. You have to. That's a must. There is no team or organization that has not had that is long-term sustainable winning. Nobody does that. You got to have you got to have a consistent management, a family of management. You got to have consistent coaching staff. Okay? You got to do that. So I think it's knee-jerk, honestly, a knee-jerk reaction to say fire the coach. That's a New York knee-jerk reaction. Fire the coach. No, we're not doing that this time. I don't think they're going to. So what will they do? If it was me, now, before I say what I'm about to say, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. You have to be flexible. You have to maintain flexibility. Okay. And what do I mean by flexibility in terms of basketball management? What do I mean what does flexibility mean? What does that mean? That means you'll be in position to go in several directions from where you sit now. I remember when I was a kid, I watched I read a basketball book about basketball fundamentals. I think I was 14. And in the book, they had a picture of a Los Angeles Lakers guard by the name of Gail Goodrich. Gail Goodrich played with Jerry West. He was a lefty, really good player. And in the picture, Gail Goodrich had caught the ball on a pass and had it in a position to pass. And what the picture said was from that position, Gail Goodrich could drive, he could stop and shoot, or he can pass. That he was in a position to be able to do 3 different things. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about flexibility. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I know some of y'all are going to be upset at this, and I kind of understand based on my history with the Knicks and understanding what I've felt in times past and understanding the reactions in times past. But I'm trying to tell y'all, Tibbs and the management team are not going anywhere, and they shouldn't right now. Okay? For all the reasons I just said. So now, flexibility. The Knicks have young players. The Knicks have young players. I mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 young players that they've drafted or traded for. Plus, you want to add Hartenstein to that mix, right? They got 7 young players that they drafted or traded for or signed in free agents. They got Mitchell Robinson, not including Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett. So you got 9 of them. These guys like RJ, Mitchell Robinson, especially those guys, even though they're young, they're veteran players now. They're 4 years or more basketball experience. Okay, NBA basketball experience. And then you got your 3rd-year guys, your Emmanuel Quickly, your Obi Toppin, and then your Hartenstein, that your 3rd-year, 4th-year guys that you also, even though they're young, you're going to keep them also. I'm trading everybody that's 26 or over except Jalen Brunson, which means I'm trading Randall, I'm trading Evan Fournier, I'm trading Derrick Rose. And I want to see what I have in the 9 young guys I got left. That's okay. I'm not firing my coach. I'm not firing his staff. I'm not getting rid of the management. Why do I do that? Why do I say that? Because you want to see what you have. And then at the end of the season, you want to use your flexibility to be able to pounce on an opportunity. And you have several. Let's say they stink. Let's say you get rid of these 3 guys and the Knicks completely collapse this year. What does that mean? You're in a position to get Wembanyama, right? You're in a position to do that. If they really suck, you're in a position to do that. And you can also, if you make these moves now, you can see what you have in these young people between now and the trade deadline. And then you might be able to make more moves, before the draft. That's an option there. You also have a whole bunch of draft picks so that you can trade up for Wembanyama if somebody's willing to do that. Okay? You could do that. I can guarantee you something. There's going to be a star, if not a superstar, definitely a star that's disgruntled and wants to change teams next summer. You'll have the draft capital and you'll have young players that you can use in a trade. So you have all kinds of flexibility right now. You don't want to make rash decisions with your management team and your coaching staff right now. No, it's not the right move. And like I said, I don't think they're going to do that. I know y'all, want Tibbs' neck. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Okay. Now, looking at this as cold-hearted Danny Ainge style assets, You're not trading RJ Barrett because he's 22 years old and you just signed him to $120 million. If you traded him now, if you gave up on him now, you look like an idiot. So you're not doing that. So we can stop the RJ can't be counted on bullcrap. Leave that. It's not going to happen. Okay? Only incompetent management does stuff like that. Or people that are hooked on NBA 2K. Okay. So RJ's here. Mitchell Robinson here, and he needs to be. Grimes, Cam Reddish, and of course Jalen Brunson. They're here. They're going to be here. Then you want to make time, which is why I'm saying trade Derrick Rose. You want Deuce McBride to start getting more minutes. He's along with Cam Reddish and Quentin Grimes. Deuce McBride is your best perimeter defender. And if some of you don't realize it yet, the cat can shoot too when he's getting regular minutes. He just needs to get some regular, serious minutes. You start Obi Toppin. Why? You drafted him number 8 overall. You don't sit that kind of guy. Now they got Randall, $106 million in front of him. So you got to move Randall. You got to move Randall. Now, why do I say move Randall? I spoke on it earlier in this podcast here. It is not established yet that Jalen Brunson's your leader. Once you move Randall, it is then established. Jalen Brunson is the leader. Okay? You have to make him the leader. You did not see, you're going to lose. If you're the Knicks, you're going to lose Emmanuel quickly. And I've been telling y'all that. You're going to lose Emmanuel quickly. Why are you losing Emmanuel quickly? Some of you still don't get it. It's like, why are we getting rid of quickly? We're not getting rid of quickly, but we're going to lose him. And it's not about, well, just pay him the money. It's not that. This year, in my view, like in the first 2 seasons, I've said Emmanuel Quickly's a 6th man of the year type candidate, Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford mode type dude, and you want to keep him there. But since the end of last year and into this year, to me, he's a starter level NBA player. And some team is going to agree with me. He cannot start on the Knicks because they committed to Jalen Brunson. You're not going to start Quickly and Brunson. Those are no. So you're going to lose quickly. The only question is when you're going to lose him. Are you going to lose him next summer? Is he going to do a sign and trade? Are you going to wait till it's time for him to extend and he doesn't? You're going to lose him. So, no, he can't play shooting guard because you have Cam Reddish as shooting guard and you have Quentin Grimes as shooting guard. So, no, he's not going to play shooting guard. Let's be real. Come on, yo. Will y'all think a little bit? No, he's not going to play shooting guard for the Knicks as starter. What, you going to start over Quentin Grimes or Cam Reddish? Anyway, he's a starter as a point guard for a team. And he will start as a point guard for a team. And he should get that opportunity. He might start in Washington next to Beal. He might start in San Antonio next to Devin Vassell. He might start in Houston next to Jalen Green. He could start in Miami next to Jimmy Butler. There's a lot of options for him. A lot of options. And then the Minnesota's been ready to trade D'Lo. He could start there. Okay, so quickly you're going to lose because you're committed to Jalen Brunson. If you were going to plan on keeping Quickly, you should have gave him the basketball last year and let him start at the end of last year and just said, okay, we're going to run with this kid. But no, they didn't do that. So they decided to go with Jalen Brunson. A lot of family involved. Y'all know the whole story. A lot of family involved. Brunson's a big-time performer in the playoffs, so on and so forth. Long-term relationship with Tibbs, long-term relationship with Leon Rose, the whole 9. So they committed, and I'm not downing it, but once you did that, you lost Emmanuel Quickly. You just lost Emmanuel Quickly. Okay? So you're going to lose him. You need to bring Deuce McBride up right now. You want to get the best deal you can for Quickly because he's talented. He's a talented player. Okay? He's talented, and he's so talented, he's in the wrong spot right now. he's in the wrong spot. So he's not going to sit on your bench. As soon as he can, he's gone. Okay. Plus, he's going to get the starter bag, but he wants to start. Okay. That's going to happen. No, I don't want D'Angelo Russell on the Knicks. That's NBA 2K move. No, we don't want him. Let them get rid of their problems somewhere else. What I want is an expiring deal and some picks. What I really want from the T-Wolves is Anthony Edwards, but that's another conversation. Okay. What I really want from them is Anthony Edwards. Okay. If I could have him, yeah, we could. Okay. But that's another conversation. That's a different conversation. But as far as right now, I'm telling you, Emmanuel quickly is going to be able to start somewhere else. So stop thinking with your hind parts, please. I gave you a very logical reason why Tibbs ain't going nowhere. Get your hate out and take your fan hat off and get your man thinking hat on. I done told y'all already. Tibbs ain't going nowhere, and he shouldn't. Defending him, what the hell? I'm not his lawyer. Some of y'all are sickening, man. Anyway, like I'm saying, you're going to lose Emmanuel quickly. You're going to lose him. Okay? So what are you losing for? You better get the best deal you can for him. Okay? You better get the best deal you can for him because you're going to lose him. So now you got to move up Deuce McBride. You got to, of course, you're going to keep playing Cam. You're going to start Obi Toppin because you should trade Julius Randle. These are the moves that need to be made now. It's not about changing management or coaching staff. It's about players. It's about trades. It's about recalibrating, using your flexibility to see what you can do this year with the youth that you have. That's the logical move if you're trying to build a long-term sustainable winner. Okay? We're not losing no kids. We're not losing no kids because Tibbs is the coach. These guys love Tibbs. I don't know what you guys, some of y'all, I don't know what you be smoking. These kids love Tibbs. They play their tail off for him. Anyway. Some of y'all a couple weeks ago, but they gave up on Tibbs. The kids gave up on him. Oh my gosh, man. So you need some toilet paper for that crap you pushing? You need some toilet paper for that crap you pushing, man? What, you got diarrhea? What's wrong with you, man? Anyway. You should take some X-Lax or, don't take X-Lax. Eat some cheese and stop that mess up a little bit. Anyway, so, yeah, that's really what I'm thinking they're going to do. They're going to reevaluate their roster, and they should go with the kids that they've drafted and try to get them some minutes and seeing where they could go. Like I said, you could, they could stink and then they could lose a whole bunch of games, and now you're in the draft, you're looking at drafting somebody. Or they can play really well, which I think they would, and then you're looking at adding a superstar or a star next summer to go with some of them. You can't add a superstar to Julius Randle. You can't. Okay? You can't. No, the Knicks are not signing Miles Bridges. What? All right. Let's go over this. Why is Miles Bridges not playing for the Charlotte Hornets right now? How come he's not on the floor right now? What happened while Miles Bridges is not playing? Do you guys know? Why is he not playing on Charlotte right now? Why is he not in the lineup? Why is he not here? Do you guys understand? You guys know? Maybe you didn't know. Do you know what happened with Miles Bridges? What happened with him? I mean, why is he not? Let's see. Miles Bridges. You didn't know? You could Google it. Miles Bridges. Take a look. Miles Bridges expected to serve a significant suspension. Significant suspension. upon controversial return to the NBA. Once he signs with an NBA team after his plea deal relating to felonies of domestic violence. Now, that's why he's not playing for the Hornets. So why would not the Knicks want him? Why would not any NBA team want him? Because he was pleading for felony domestic abuse. Wait a minute. BKNA, thank you for the $5. If IQ leaves, perhaps Cam can be our $6 million. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would be. Cam with Deuce. But let's talk about Miles Bridges. I'm tired of people mentioning him. So he felony domestic abuse. Now wait a minute. You're talking about the NBA now. Y'all realize why Mark Jackson is not coaching? Do you guys realize why? Is it because Mark Jackson's a bad coach? Why is Mark Jackson not coaching in the NBA right now? Because he spoke against the rainbow. He spoke against the rainbow alphabet soup. That's why he's not coaching. And for some reason, y'all seem to think that the Knicks would take on a guy that beat up his wife. And this is a good idea. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. So no, they're not going to sign Miles Bridges. The Knicks don't need that type of media in their locker room. Can you imagine? So how many times did you hit her, Miles? So what have you learned from beating up your wife? So is it true your son was there? Did you hit him too? Can you imagine the circus this is going to be? And some of you really intelligent people are actually saying we should go get Miles Bridges. What is wrong with some of you? Seriously. No, the Knicks are not going, thankfully, they're not going to sign Miles Bridges. Okay? You can forget that. Yeah, maybe 2 years from now, he reestablishes his reputation in the NBA. He does his counseling. He goes in community and does things. He does commercials against domestic abuse. It'll take him like 2 seasons, maybe then, but not now. Not now. No, not now. Not now. DeMarcus Cousins, when we was kids, we used to say, he threw. We said, DeMarcus Cousins threw. You know what that means? His basketball career is effectively finished. Like Carmelo Anthony. Just saying. All right. So we can, forget Miles Bridges. Now, you can forget Miles Bridges and you can forget Carmelo Anthony too. Now, I think they would sign Carmelo if they were playing really well, or if they were in like top 5 tank mode. They might sign Carmelo for the sentimental reason of finishing his career in the Knicks uniform. But as long as they are trying to win, which they're still trying to do, they're not going to sign Carmelo Anthony. Okay, not going to happen. All right, so. Yeah, they're not going to do it. Carmelo's finished. He's finished. 38? Wait, how old is Carmelo? 38? Third eye. Thank you for the files. Russell Westbrook first for D Rose and Fournier. Well, let me ask you, do you think I think the Lakers might do that? Because when you add that up, what is that? Fournier's 19 million, D Rose is 14, that's 33 million. You need another contract because, Russell Westbrook is 47 million. You'd need another contract, for that to work. You'd need another, You'd probably need another $10 million contract to make that work. You know who I would trade right now? I would not trade Cam Reddish. I would not do it. But you know who I would trade? Tell me what. Let me ask you. In fact, let me ask you. Would y'all trade after the December 16th. Got to be after December 16th. Would you trade Hartenstein? Would you send Hartenstein, Rose, and Fournier? Would y'all do that? Yeah, I would do it too. And you know why? Because of how good Jericho Sims has become. I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. Yes, I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that. So yeah, so I would not trade Cam Reddish. Too much talent there, baby. Too much talent. Too much talent. But yeah, I would do that and move Jericho Sims up, to the backup center. No, Ace of Spade. Tibbs has no animosity about Obi Toppin. He doesn't. He doesn't have any animosity about Obi Toppin at all. He's defended Obi multiple times this year in front of the press. So no, he's not. There's no animosity from Tibbs to Obi. I guess the real question you're asking, Ace of Spade, and let me, if I may, tell me if I'm wrong, Ace of Spade. Are you asking why is Tibbs not playing Obi more minutes? Are you asking that question really? Is that the real question? Right? Is that the real question? How come Obi's not getting more minutes? How come it's not? It's not the real question. You asked the question. Do you think he has it out for Tibbs? Has it out for Obi? And there's favoritism. Are you saying really, Ace of Spades, is your real question is why isn't Obi getting more minutes? Because that's a legit question. Yeah. Why is not Obi getting more minutes? That's a legit question. Because I expected Obi to get 20, 22 minutes a game, and he's getting 14 to 18. I can't answer that. I don't think it has anything to do with Tibbs hating on Obi as much as Tibbs playing Randall more. So let's think about that, Ace of Spade. Let's think about that. That's an intelligent question. Let's think about that for a second. Could it be, Ace of Spade, that they're trying to build up Randall's value for a trade? Is that I'm asking you, is that possible? Because they're playing Obi Lesmans, are they trying to build up Randall's value for a trade? That's a possibility, right? I mean, when you're seeing Randall getting these minutes and Obi's not getting what you want, what we think he should be getting. Yeah. So just to, wrap up what we've been talking about, I would trade Julius Randle. Well, first of all, I'm not firing Tom Thibodeau or any of his staff. I'm not firing Leon Rose or any of his staff. I'm keeping them cats in place for 5 years. And let me tell you something, just to let you know, at the end of 5 years, Thibodeau won't be here anyway. He is 63 this year. Or is he 64 even? So like in 3 more years, he'll be like 68. He's not going to be coaching. So you might as well see what you can build with this dude while you got him for the 5 years that you signed him for. Okay? No, you don't. Anyway, you know what? Let me do this, man. I'm tired of seeing you. You're like you're like one of those little dogs that nap at somebody's, that nap at somebody's heel. I'm tired of seeing you. So bye. But little dog. He said, shut the dog up. Oh gosh. The ones where the ears go back when they anyway. Oh gosh. So anyway, yeah, I would I know I caught that too, Gilbert. You absolutely right. But yeah, the Chihuahua. Yeah, right. That's right. Oh gosh. So, and I got tired of this. I got tired of seeing him. So, and that's rare for me. But anyway, I'm keeping my management team for now for continuity's sake. Paul, I know your game, man. I already seen you, man. But you at least say things in an intelligent manner. I'm keeping my management team for continuity's sake. I'm keeping them for the 5 years. I want to see what we can get out of this management team in a 5-year period without firing somebody. It's not like the Knicks are going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, so we want to see what we can do. I would trade Randall trade D Rose, trade Evan Fournier as fast as I could, and I want Obi to start. I want Obi to start as many games as I can get him starting. I want Miles McBride in my rotation. I want Cam Reddish heavier minutes in my rotation, and I want to keep. What the Grimes thing? Now, somebody, I think Ace of Spade, you also asked about Cam Reddish. You said, why is Tibbs hating on Obi? And I told you, no, I don't think he is. And then you asked also, why is not Cam Reddish getting more minutes? Now let's take a look. How many minutes did Cam Reddish play yesterday? How many minutes did he play? Let me look at him against Dallas. How many minutes did Cam play? Cam had a rough game. I mean, you all know I'm Cam Hive. Cam had a rough game yesterday. He really, man, he was off yesterday, and not just his shooting, just his game in general. Cam only played 9 minutes. I think Tibbs saw what I saw. Cam was really just off his game. He was just really out of sync yesterday. It happens sometimes. It's not like they mentioned it happens sometimes. He was out of sync, bros. I got to be real with you. And I'm Cam Hive. He was out of sync yesterday. But also, I want to tell you this. I'm going to play Cam as many minutes as I can play him. So I'm going to tell you this, though. I think we can all agree, and I think you all would agree with me when I say this. Tibbs favors Grimes. Do y'all agree with that? Tibbs favors Grimes, right? I mean, I think that's a situation. I think, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying Tibbs favors Grimes. Okay, Tibbs favors Grimes. So I think he's gonna give Quentin Grimes as many minutes as Quentin Grimes needs to become what Tibbs thinks he can become this year. That's why I'm thinking Cam is suffering minutes right now. But yesterday was more about Cam was really out of sync yesterday. He just really was. Missed the dunk that he would normally hit, stepped out of bounds when he got the ball. And Obi was trying to find him. Obi was really going out of his way to try to find Cam. And I like that. But to answer the backup question to that. Okay, once we trade Randall, once we trade Evan Fournier and D Rose, I'm going to place, we talked about starting Obi. I'm going to also play Cam in three positions. I'm going to play him behind Grimes. I'm going to play him behind Obi in small ball 4 lineups. And I'm going to play him behind RJ also at backup 3. So I'm going to play him all over the floor. So even though he's not wouldn't start, Cam would get significant minutes in my view because he could play all of those positions. And the reason he could play all of those positions because he's capable of guarding all the positions on the floor, except maybe the 5, but he can guard all 4 other positions, Cam. So he's going to get time. I would have him out there on the floor. Okay. So starters, Mitch Robb, RJ, Obi Toppin, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes. That's my starters. My bench mob deep becomes Cam. It becomes Hartenstein. It becomes Deuce McBride. It becomes Emmanuel Quickly. There you go. There you go. That's 9. Yeah, so I'm keeping Cam though. That's too much talent right there. I'm keeping Cam. I don't think Obi's really a 5. I think he's a pure 4 in the NBA. He's not really a 5. He might even be able to play some 3, but I don't think he's a 5. In that same realm, like what's that kid that used to play for Detroit? He went to Houston, got the bag, and now he's playing for Dallas as the backup. Oh, what's that kid's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's that boy's name, man? Where is he at? He didn't play yesterday. What's that? You guys know who I'm talking about. What's that kid's name? He's like a power forward, but he plays some center, and he played for Detroit. Then he left Detroit. Christian Wood. Yeah. You would think Obi might be able to do a little Christian Wood, but I don't like it. I don't like it. I like Obi as a pure 4. Some guys you don't want to take away from Christian Wood. Some guys you don't want to take away from their natural position. I think Obi's a pure 4, and I would like him to stay there. I would have Cam playing with that run when RJ sits or with Grimes sits for a minute. I would have Cam out there for all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So, but Christian Wood is like built like Obi, but he could do that 4 or 5 thing a little bit more. Obi's really a pure 4, and I want to see him flourish in his natural position. So I would love to have him start and play 30 minutes, 35 minutes a game. Well, this is the thing, Rich. I don't want to make that determination right now. Rich asked a question: how much are you paying Cam to keep him? I don't want to make that determination right now. I just want to have the space to keep him. I want to wait and see what happens as the year goes on. This is why I want to trade Randall, trade D Rose, trade Evan Fournier, because that gives Cam and Obi a chance to show out. Okay, so I don't know what they're going to be worth. You got to see where the Knicks end up. You got to see how they perform. You got to see all of that before you start making that determination. I don't want to make a determination right off the bat. You got to wait and see what they can do. Aaron Spalding, thanks for the super chat, man. How's Chief going? I don't know that. That's cute, man. Yeah. So I won't make that determination right away. I don't like to try to judge that right now because he's not been getting, as we already said, he's not been getting consistent minutes. Like, we don't know where he's going to be, and he's got, it's just kind of, and that's part of the problem. People got to know their roles, and right now, I think Randall and D Rose are clogging up the roles for a couple of guys. Like D Rose is clogging up the roles for Deuce, and Randall is stopping Obi from getting what we need to see from Obi, minutes, So I'd like to trade these guys as soon as possible. And Evan Fournier is just not playing, so we can get something for him. He was the only DNPCD yesterday, so we got to get something for him. So I'm trading those guys. That's the move I'm going to make right now. Also, I just want to point out some important stats. Now, when the Knicks have been playing good recently, right? They lost some games, like, we lost to Portland. We lost a tough game to the Bucks. But one thing that we have seen from the Knicks in this last week before yesterday, and I don't think, well, you can't deny what the numbers say, but the Knicks have really distributed the basketball well, even in the losses. So, we lost to Memphis. They had like 28, 29 assists, 27. They had 30 assists, some against Milwaukee. They had against Portland like 30 assists. The ball was moving. Yesterday, they only had 18 assists, and he had 19 turnovers. See, that's not cool, man. I don't care what. You can point, that's a team thing. They had 18 assists and 19 turnovers. No, Kemba didn't play yesterday. But they had 18 assists and 19 turnovers. Can't do that. You can't do that. You can't win in the NBA like that. I don't care who you're playing. And so I think they got today against Cleveland. I would like to see them go back to movement of the basketball, get them assists back up to over 25, get them assists back up. And I don't know what happened to them on the boards. They just got destroyed on the board yesterday. I don't know what happened. I do know what happened defensively, though. Too many guys like Randall, he goes under and he doesn't even cover the shoot. He doesn't even try to cover the shoot. And D Rose just lost a step. It's just so. Yeah. So, but wait, I didn't get a chance to talk to y'all about that 20 rebound game my boy had, though. Did y'all check that out against Giannis and them? That 20 rebound game my boy put up. So did y'all check that out? Mitch had 11 offensive rebounds against Milwaukee. You know what? I've noticed that against the guys that y'all always talking about trading him for, he has the biggest games. Like, he has his biggest games against Ayton. He has his biggest game. Like that game, Miles Turner had the 7 threes. The next game, if y'all don't remember, Mitch Rob came out like a monster. So he has his biggest games. When he starts hearing about y'all talking about trading him for somebody, or y'all want somebody else for him, he starts going off, man. Yeah, no, Obi's defense is good enough. It's not that. I think they're trying to trade Randall. I don't think it's anything to do with Obi's defense. I think they're trying to trade Randall. I like the way Obi's playing. He's out of sync too, just like Cam. They'll be all right. I'm not worried about them. See, y'all looking too short term, man. Y'all think the Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year? I mean, did you ever think that? I mean, they're not. They're not. So they're not going to the Eastern Conference Finals. We can hope to try to get a win in the first round. Okay. So there's no drastic thing that needs to be done right now, except get rid of these older dudes and let these younger dudes flourish and see if we can get some development. Yeah, I know. Oh, man. So Anthony Ambulance, speaking of injury, Anthony Ambulance Davis forced his way out of New Orleans to get with LeBron in LA. And now he's apparently trying to force his way out of LA. Some of y'all want to trade the team for him. What's wrong with some of y'all, man? Yeah, Fournier and Turner both 18 million. You're right. You're right. But I wanted to share that with y'all. Yeah, I'm getting ready to have some dinner with my beautiful wife, and then we'll watch the game, and then tomorrow we'll talk about the game. Now, I don't want to predict anything tonight because of how bad our team was yesterday, but I will say I would love to see 25 assists or more today. That's my only goal today. Wait. And I want to see under 15 turnovers. I want to see under 12 turnovers. I want 12 or less turnovers and 25 or more assists. Can we do that? That's all I want today. I want to see if they could do that. Can we get 25 or more assists? Can we get 12 or less turnovers? Yesterday, they had 19 turnovers and only 18 assists. That's not going to get it done against anybody. I want to see if they can do that. Oh, yes, that's right. Andrew, you're right. I want them to play defense, of course, obviously. But to me, I think they got to get rid of these guys that I just named in order for the defense to really step up. But can we please get 25 or more assists? Can we please keep our turnovers low? Can we please control the game a little bit? Try a little bit. Okay, can we do that? Let's see if we could do that. All right. Anyway, I want to thank you all for hanging out with us a little bit today on a Sunday. Did the Giants win? The Giants were up against Washington today, and and they were winning when I last looked at it. I don't know what's going on now. What's going on? They're up. Are they up? What's the game? What's the score? I don't know. What's going on in the NFL? Y'all know? Is the Giants up? It's tied. All right. 58. Okay. Probably not, Ace, because I'm going to dinner with my wife and trying to get back here for the game. So probably not. But we'll catch up. Anyway, thank you all. Please have a safe, enjoyable rest of your weekend. Shalom. It's tie game? Okay.